March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, carrying 239 passengers and crew, vanished while en route from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to Beijing, China. The Boeing 777 lost contact with air traffic control less than an hour after takeoff and disappeared from radar screens shortly thereafter. Despite one of the most extensive search efforts in aviation history, the plane's final resting place remains unknown. Timeline of events: takeoff and initial communication. The flight departed Kuala Lumpur at 12:41 a.m. local time. Routine communication with air traffic control proceeded until 1:19 a.m., when the co-pilot's final transmission, "Good night, Malaysian 370, was received. Disappearance: minutes later, the plane's transponder was switched off, and it vanished from civilian radar. Military radar later tracked it deviating sharply from its planned course, heading west across the Malay Peninsula and out into the Indian Ocean. Search efforts: early efforts focused on the South China Sea but later shifted to the southern Indian Ocean based on satellite data. The official search, involving multiple nations and lasting years, covered over 120,000 square kilometers of ocean floor but failed to locate the main wreckage. Clues and theories: debris discovery. Between 2015 and 2016, pieces of debris confirmed to be from MH370 washed ashore on beaches in the Indian Ocean, including Mozambique, Réunion Island, and Madagascar. These provided some evidence of a crash but no conclusive answers. Hypotheses: some experts suggest that Captain Zahri Ahmad Shah deliberately diverted the plane and caused its disappearance. A simulated flight path on his home computer supported this theory, though it remains unproven. Other theories include catastrophic mechanical failure or a hijacking gone wrong, but no evidence has substantiated these scenarios. Speculations range from extraterrestrial involvement to secretive military operations, underscoring the public fascination with the mystery. Impact and legacy: the incident led to reforms in tracking systems, including the introduction of real-time satellite monitoring for commercial flights. MH370 inspired numerous documentaries, books, and media analyses, reflecting the enduring intrigue and grief surrounding the tragedy. Why it remains a mystery: despite technological advancements and exhaustive searches, the vast and remote expanse of the southern Indian Ocean poses significant challenges to discovery. Without the flight recorder or more debris, the exact circumstances leading to the plane's disappearance remain speculative. This unsolved mystery continues to baffle experts and captivate the public, standing as one of the greatest enigmas in modern aviation history. 40U said, "Make it a little longer." ChatGPT said, ChatGPT. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, 2014. The event: on March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 disappeared during its scheduled journey from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to Beijing, China. The aircraft, a Boeing 777-200ER, was carrying 239 people, 227 passengers and 12 crew members, when it lost contact with air traffic control less than an hour after takeoff. What followed was a chain of baffling events that would leave families devastated, experts puzzled, and the world with one of the most enduring aviation mysteries in history. Timeline of events: routine departure: MH370 departed Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 12:41 a.m. local time. For the first 38 minutes, communications between the plane and air traffic control were normal. The weather was clear, and no distress signals were reported. Last communication: at 1:19 a.m., the flight's co-pilot delivered the last confirmed transmission, "Good night, Malaysian 370. Minutes later, the plane's transponder, which provides location data, was switched off. Unexplained course deviation: military radar tracked the plane deviating from its planned route. Instead of continuing north toward Beijing, it turned west across the Malay Peninsula and then southwest over the Andaman Sea. This significant change in course was made without any communication with air traffic control. Vanishing from radar, at 2:22 a.m., the plane disappeared entirely from radar coverage. For days, search efforts concentrated in the South China Sea, but a shift in focus to the southern Indian Ocean followed analysis of satellite handshakes, automated pings between the plane and a satellite. The search for MH370 became the most expensive in aviation history, involving over 26 countries and costing more than $200 million. It covered vast stretches of the Indian Ocean and used advanced underwater search technology. Yet, after years of effort, the main wreckage remained elusive. Initial efforts, early searches concentrated on the South China Sea based on the flight's planned route. When investigators analyzed satellite data from Inmarsat, the search shifted to a remote part of the southern Indian Ocean, approximately 2,000 kilometers, 1,200 miles, off the west coast of Australia. Discovery of debris. Between 2015 and 2016, debris from MH370 began washing ashore on islands and coastlines along the western Indian Ocean. Confirmed pieces included a flaperon found on Réunion Island and parts of the plane's interior, such as wing components and cabin pieces. While these discoveries confirmed the crash, they offered little information about the plane's final moments. Official suspension of search. By January 2017, after covering 120,000 square kilometers, 46,000 square miles, of ocean floor, the official search was called off. A private effort funded by the company Ocean Infinity in 2018 also failed to locate the wreckage, leaving the fate of MH370 unresolved. Clues and theories. The absence of definitive evidence has fueled numerous theories, ranging from plausible to outlandish. Pilot involvement. One theory suggests that Captain Zari Ahmad Shah deliberately diverted the plane, possibly as a planned murder-suicide. Investigators found a flight simulation on his home computer that mirrored the path taken by MH370, but no conclusive motive or evidence was ever established. Mechanical failure. Another hypothesis involves a catastrophic failure, such as a sudden loss of cabin pressure or an electrical fire. Critics argue that such events would likely have allowed the crew to send a distress signal or attempt an emergency landing. Hijacking or terrorism. Some believe that hijackers may have taken control of the aircraft, possibly disabling communications. However, no terrorist group claimed responsibility, and the passengers were thoroughly vetted. Involuntary actions. Speculation exists that an accident incapacitated the crew, such as hypoxia, oxygen deprivation, causing the plane to fly on autopilot until it ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean. Outlandish theories. Wild ideas include alien abduction, black hole phenomena, or even secretive government intervention. While intriguing, these have no factual basis. Impact on aviation. The MH370 tragedy prompted significant changes in aviation safety and tracking, real-time tracking. In response to MH370, aviation authorities mandated that all commercial flights report their position every 15 minutes, with real-time tracking in certain high-risk scenarios. The use of satellites to monitor flights globally is now standard. Black box advances. The disaster highlighted the limitations of locating black boxes in remote areas. Efforts are underway to develop deployable flight recorders that can float and send signals for easier recovery. Family support. Airlines are now required to provide better communication and support to families in the event of an accident. The emotional toll. For the families of the 239 people aboard MH370, the lack of closure has been devastating. Many have expressed frustration with the pace of investigations and the inability to locate the wreckage. Vigils and memorials continue to be held, as loved ones cling to hope for answers. Why it remains a mystery. The southern Indian Ocean is one of the most remote and challenging regions to explore, with depths exceeding 4,000 meters, 13,000 feet, and unpredictable conditions. Combined with the delay in initiating the search, these factors have made locating the main wreckage extremely difficult. Despite the extensive search efforts, the precise sequence of events and the motivations, if any, behind the disappearance remain speculative. MH370 stands as one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in modern aviation, leaving questions that may never be fully answered.